Made in Hollywood.
All right, so how much did you read comics growing up? How much do you know of the whole history?
The whole history or whatever. All the history comics. I'm not that good, but I definitely was a fan of comic book. I definitely read a lot of comic books growing up and fan of Marvel. So I was definitely really familiar with Black Panther and that whole universe and his history. So to be a part of that, big deal.
Do you remember Milestone Comics? Do you know about that?
Yes.
There was a group of artists who kind of broke off of Marvel
and did all black comic.
Right.
Static Shock, I think was one of their properties or whatever. That's
Yes.
Yeah, but yes, I'm familiar with them.
So their goal with Static and then also Marvel with Black Panther was that they wanted a character that kids could actually see themselves in these comics. And I feel like they're gonna go and watch Black Panther on the big screen now. They're going to feel that way.
I agree. No, I think representation is extremely important. And if my 10-year-old self watched this movie, I would feel empowered and strong and inspired and feel larger than life and like I could do anything. And I think that's really important to see themselves on screen and in film and television, to be able to dream. Dreaming as a kid is super important, and you don't want to, kind of like stagnate their imagination, with not being able to see themselves.
Mm-hmm. We get to see this darker side of
Yes.
you, which we haven't really seen before. You're always the good guy.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy being the villain of this film?
They say it's more fun being the bad guy, and it was definitely a lot of fun. Less boundaries, you just kind of take the chains off and be a little more reckless. I think. And it was fun, but we also wanted to make a character that was really three-dimensional and multi-layered, where people can understand where he's coming from. That was truly important. I think a movie is only as good as its villain sometimes, and for this one, we really needed to get him right. And I think we did an okay job.
Did you feel more comfortable being the bad guy?
I felt pretty comfy.
What does that say about you? I'm just kidding.
Just a little comfy that I got a couple sides to me. That's what it says. That's what it says.
Let me ask you, as a fan, because I'm sure you've watched all of the previous Marvel films.
Of course.
So in Civil War, Black Panther is avenging his father, so he's going after Bucky Barnes.
Yep.
I won't give away too much from this film, but after the events of this film, what do you think? How do you think the perspective that T'Challa has on Bucky will change? Or do you think it will?
I think Killmonger's effect on T'Challa really changed him, which in part would change the way he responds to certain things. So maybe he might have a different perspective and point of view on Bucky. For better or worse, don't know.
What would you love to see as a fan in the future?
In the future?
War? We don't know anything about Infinity War
Oh,
yet.
Man. Yeah, I saw some stuff.
Did you?
Yeah.
No,
I'm lying. I didn't say anything. I was joking.
Will you tell me after?
No, I was just No, but what do I want to see? Man, it just depends on what version they're going with. There's so many different comic books, the lineage and history. It'd be cool to see, man. It is good and cool to see, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's too much. Literally, that's a loaded question.